Hey, hi. Welcome back to the What Was I Thinking podcast. I'm Lee. I've always been Lee, always going to be Lee. And you know what? Lee is a little bit frustrated right now. I feel like, Lee, are you seem on edge, you seem angry. I'm honestly mostly fine, but I'm just going to be very honest with you. As you can see, no, are you Lee? Are you being interrogated in Guantanamo Bay? No, I am in the Jew's nest. Caw, caw, caw. Some people hate that. Some people love it. But this is my first week here, and it's been going great. Actually, okay. Who, whosa. Um, it has actually been going very well, and I really do enjoy having it. I know some people didn't think I should get it. Some people were happy that I got it. I've really enjoyed it. It's been like 3 or 4 days, or I guess almost a week. Actually, yeah, it'll be a week. Wow, time flies when you're working all the time. But it's been going great. I like having a space to go. I like actually putting on pants. Spoiler alert: I would always put on a shirt when I was doing the podcast, but most of the time, no pants. Like shorts. I'm not saying I was naked. That would be disturbing. But not really like jeans. Like I've worn jeans every day this week, and that has not happened in a long, many years. Yeah, probably God. Even when I was doing living in LA, I wouldn't wear jeans all the time. I'm a gym shorts kind of dude. Especially when you're big, you're like fuck jeans. I actually remember. This is funny. I actually remember when I got to my fattest, right before, like during, early 2020. I would look at people wearing jeans and be like, how do they do that comfortably? Just like put on jeans, not have to like suck in when you close it or put it around your thighs and then do the jump up. Like, girls, I've seen girls in movies when they put on jeans, they got to like do the jump up and like the butt thing. Um, I had to do that just because I was stubborn and didn't want to keep buying new fat jeans. I'm in my current fat, like the early fat jeans. I had when I left LA, I bought jeans in Nebraska or Arkansas, wherever the headquarters. I think it's maybe Arkansas. I forget. It doesn't matter. Wherever the headquarters of Walmart is, I was on my way to Milwaukee, and I was like, I might need jeans. Biggest size they had, a 50. I know, depressing, and it barely fit. Um, I know people are like, oh my god, a 50. I know. And now I'm in. I think it's either 40. No, it's 42s, but 40s. I'm almost down to 40. Because and these are my old fat jeans, or like my yeah. So when I lost weight the last time, I got down to a 38, and then when I started slowly putting weight on again, I got some 42s, and I was like, these are gonna be my fat jeans, because of course I threw the other ones away, and I'm gonna burn these when I don't, and I'm so close to not eating them, but I threw the other ones away, and then I needed them, and then when these didn't fit, I was like, I have a problem, and then I proceeded to probably gain another 20 pounds. Um, but I digress. Why, Lee? Why were you frustrated? Because in this office, there's never going to be a totally noise free office. And the rest of the week it's been silent. And I'm actually here on a Saturday morning. I left my house at 9 in the morning. Look at you, Lee. No, tomorrow is my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mama Syatt. And I am also getting my second vaccine shot tomorrow. Hooray for being fat. And I've heard that I might have a reaction to it. So I wanted to make sure I had this done for you. And I'm also, right after this, if you watch The Wasteland as well, I'll be wearing the same shirt because I didn't want to bring two shirts in. And so I'm going to be doing both of these today to get them out for you this week. So thank you for watching and listening to both of them. But I'm frustrated. Get back to the point. I am frustrated because I can hear. You can't hear, but I can hear that there's someone in the office across the hall from me with the door open, and they are just being normal people and chatting. but it is upsetting to me. I don't like it. I can hear it, and I I would like to burn this place to the ground. I would like to just become an arsonist. Is that allowed? Um, I don't think it is, but it's frustrating to me, and that is sort of what we're going to talk about today. I've been really. I'm just going to be straight up. I'm going to keep it 100, as I'm way too white to say that. I really also don't exactly know what it means. I know it means tell the truth, but I don't know why you can't just say that. I'm so old. But I I've been doing this podcast now for, I think, since November. It was either late October or early November. And when I started, I was doing solo episodes, and those are kind of hard because you don't have anyone. That's the entire reason I had a job on the church, is because Joey, I didn't want to be on mic. I very specifically said no, thank you. But Joey was like, yes, thank you. He didn't say it like that. He's like, you're gonna get a mic. But it's a little harder. And then I'm honestly learning a lot about podcasting, because I thought that the guests would be more entertaining than just little old chubby me. And it turns out that and I'm not shitting on any of my guests. I honestly enjoyed every conversation with them. But it turns out that I'm going to try to do some more solo episodes. I'm telling you too much. But, I'm really honestly trying to figure out this whole being the main boss thing. I've been a good worker bee. I was decent in school, not great. But there's something comforting, I guess, about the fact of, like, you go to work and someone's like, here, today you're doing this. And you say, okay, thank you very much. And they hand you a check, and you write down the hours you were there. It's actually reversed. You write down the hours, and they give you a check. And then you go home and you have McDonald's and watch Netflix. But now that I am the boss, and I have to be like, hey, boss man, what are you doing today? And I'm like, well, is nothing an option? No. I wish. That's the one thing. It doesn't bother me. I don't think that's not the right word to use, but I'm not a big there's a lot of motivational stuff out there today, and I think Joey's great at it. And I don't know if he's trying to motivate. It's honestly what he does to himself. I've never been good at that, and it all, like, well, there's a lot of people out there who are like, you gotta grind, and I'm like, can I just win the lottery and do nothing? Nothing is my favorite thing. I love doing nothing. When you wake up and you're like, ooh, good morning, comfortable, warm bed, and then you turn your phone on, and then you're just doing this, like, well, actually, it's probably boom, 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 and then you're on Instagram, and then you go to maybe like a Pornhub, and then you take a little nap, and then you wake up, and you do it again and again and again, and then you have snacks. And that, to me, sounds great. I know to a lot of people it's boring. My favorite thing to do is nothing. I love it, and I wish I could do it all the time. But you can't, because then you end up being 33 years old and you live with your parents again. Oh, I'm talking about myself. So I don't do that. I haven't done that for pretty much this whole year. But I am trying to get better at being a real adult, and The Office is part of that. I don't know why. A couple people wrote in, and they're absolutely right. They're like, Lee, if you need to have an office to motivate yourself to work, there's something wrong. And I say to you, yes, you're absolutely right. The last time I got into shape, I was doing kettlebells, and I was going 3 days a week at 9 a.m, and it was a kind of expensive, like $110 a month. And even Joey was like, "Why don't you just get kettlebells?" And I did get kettlebells. But I something that like I'm getting better at is just understanding who I am. And like but I know you always know, you just fight again. I fought against it. Like Joey said, like, why don't you just get kettlebells and save the 110 a month? And I said, because I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. And literally, my kettlebells in LA had cobwebs on them. Like, I should have taken a picture, but it was embarrassing. Like, literal cobwebs that I cleaned multiple times. Why were there spiders in my house? Because my landlord stunk, and I still haven't gotten my deposit back. But I did leave almost everything in my apartment. Not I mean, just a lot of stuff. I am rambling. Yes. I miss you, Brody. But I know myself, and I need to have a little bit of a financial burden. It's not much. It's like four. I'll tell you exactly what it is, because who cares? It's $425 a month. It comes with the furniture, the internet, the phone, a gym, which is pretty cool. And I've been to the gym. I found it. It's in a different building. But I've been doing my walks and my kettlebells, and I'm about to start going to that gym. And I can tell you this: I'm down 73.6 pounds. Lee, why did you tell us about the 0.6? Because it matters. It really does. I know to the ounce. I have you weighed yourself before and after poop? Yes, I have. I apologize for the cough. But you know, what are you gonna do? You know, I am happy about it. I'm happy about the weight loss. I'm happy about being more productive. And that is sort of what I want to talk about today. I am going to talk about basically I'm well, you'll know what the title is, but I'm going to do the 10 things that I would tell 18-year-old me. That's because it's so strange to me, because I got high on the internet for a living for the majority of a decade. And for some reason, you people, I shouldn't say you people, but you guys, is that better? Liked it. And I'm very appreciative, but I don't understand why. I know why you like Joey, and but some people are like, oh, like they ask me for advice about life, and what I want to say is, you see what I did? Do almost the exact opposite. That's like, for me, I am awful with directions. If I think I should go left, I go right, and it's usually right. So I get a little bit weirded out when people ask me for advice on things other than what to get at McDonald's, because I know that I'm 100% confident in my fast food and candy options, but life is a little bit. I don't feel like I mean, honestly, I just being. I like to be honest with you guys. I don't think I like. Obviously, there's people who fucked up way worse than I, like way worser than I did. Shout out to your mom's house. But I don't. I don't feel like a role model. I mean, look, it looks like I'm being interrogated. Back to this. Sorry, quick back to that. See, I remember things now. I remember things. I will have either artwork. I also have a green screen that I have to hang up, but the command strips didn't stick to the freaking cloth. So I eventually will have stuff behind me, but I have artwork that I was going to hang up, and then the ring light reflects in it, and it looks crazy. So I don't know if it's going to be by the next episode, but in the next couple weeks, because I'm going to Denver for a week for a consultation, and So within the next 2 episodes, I will have a much more exciting background. But we're doing the best we can. I do have Mr. Bruce Buffer here with me. This isn't actually, you can get this. It's an MMA bobblehead, and they are not a sponsor. But look how cool that is. It has a little card. I don't know if I'm messing with the focus of my camera. I also have a cord now, so I can use my good camera. So webcam might be second angle, which we don't need of me. But I got a little bobblehead here of Mr. Bruce Buffer, who is super cool. So that is the one piece of decoration that I do have. But before we start the episode, I do want to thank my sponsor, because support for What Was I Thinking is brought to you by Manscaped, who are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide, and we have an exclusive offer for my listeners, you watching and listening. You get 20% off plus free shipping with code Syatt, SYATT, at manscaped.com. And I'm just going to quickly show you. This is like my little Manscaped package. This is the shed. It comes in the Perfect Package 3.0. It's the best deal they have. Just honestly, go to the website. The Perfect Package 3.0 is the best deal they have. It's already discounted, and you're going to get 20% off and free shipping when you use code Syatt. It comes with the free gifts of the shed. I just showed you this. Sorry. Bang. This also comes with silky smooth Manscaped underwear. Feel it on your face. Feel it on your face. They're washed. They're clean. My balls have been in them, though. And, here we go. Okay. Here are their great products, okay? I'll just very quickly. The Lawnmower 3.0. Ooh, has a light. Perfect. This is designed perfectly so you don't hurt your balls. That's all they care about. It has advanced skin-safe trademark technology, and you got to be careful still. Don't go crazy, but you're not going to snag. Your balls are safe when you use Manscaped, okay? Bang, boom. And then, what's in here? Crop Preserver. I just randomly picked that. It's Crop Preserver. It smells great. It's an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer, because you don't want dry balls, okay? You just don't. That's the most disturbing thing I've heard of, and you don't need that. But what you do need is you need the Crop Reviver, best smelling ball. It just revives them. I don't even know what you would call it. It revives them, and they keep your balls from sweating and smelling and sticking. No one wants that. Listen, Father's Day is coming up in June. Make sure your dad's balls or your husband's don't stink. You want someone to want to put your balls or his balls. You want everyone's balls in your life to be properly cared for, okay? And with Manscaped, with the Crop Reviver, going back in the shed, the Crop Preserver, going back in the shed, and the Lawnmower 3.0 advanced skin-safe technology, going back in the shed, you want their balls to be well taken care of, groomed, Manscaped, bang, okay? So here's the deal. All this can be yours when you go to manscaped.com. Use code Syatt at checkout, SYATT. That's Syatt, SYATT, and you're going to get 20% off and free shipping. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use code Syatt. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Perfect. Okay, so we're back. My advice to I'm going to add this as a bonus one. Use Manscaped. Make sure your balls look good, because they didn't always look good. They looked like Weird Al Yankovic before he calmed them down. That's gross. Sorry, Al. He doesn't care. So, I'm about to be 33 in July, which is wild. I feel the same. If you told me I was 19 or 20, I would believe you. Not by my looks, but I've always looked this way. Sorry. But I just feel the same. My brain, I don't feel any more mature. I feel maybe like I can not sense. I don't have like a sense, not like Lee sense. But I can see like mistakes coming, and I can maybe not go down that road again. You know, like imagine if every time you go down a road, there's a shitty neighbor who has dog shit on the driveway or sidewalk outside of their house, and you spend the better part of 12 years just stepping in that dog shit every day. Every once in a, so sooner or later, maybe it takes until you're 33. You're gonna go a different route across the street because no one likes to step in dog shit. So, what I wish I knew when I was 18. This is and it's not like invest more, which I probably should be one. But actually, you know what? I am gonna add that bonus one. I have 10. You get a bonus one at the beginning. I know I am Jewish and I make jokes all the time, and I'm actually pretty good with money. But I am also not good. I don't have any. I have no investments, no retirement, no nothing, and I spent probably $100,000 on food over a decade. So save, have roommates, save your money, because you never know when you're not gonna have it anymore. And I'm not saying I'm not. Trust me, you'll know when I am broke because I will be starting an OnlyFans for gay men, and I'll just be honest about it because I've thought about it. Do you think I haven't thought about it with this body, with this hair? Uh, um, you don't think I've thought about starting a gay man bear sort of OnlyFans? Well, you're wrong because I have. I've looked into it, but I've thought, if I do this and Joey or anyone hears my voice and tattles to Joey, because by the way, some of you guys are tattletales. No one likes a tattletale. I tweeted the other day something about how male porn stars don't get the credit they deserve, which they don't. And like there were like 10 of you who were like tagging Joey and been like, "Look, come get your boy." No one didn't. People tell you no one likes a tattletale. So if someone heard my voice being like, "Hey, big boy, come and check out the chubby Jew bear on on OnlyFans," Joey would hear about it. Joey would hear about it by the end of the day, and I can't have that right now. And I don't have much money, but I have enough money to not be jerking off on OnlyFans. So when you see me jerking off on OnlyFans, sponsored by Manscaped, you will know that I am broke, but I'm not there yet. But I could be better. So, and then what goes along with that, my bonus number 2 is going to be, don't be afraid to ask for money. And not like begging on the street corner. I mean, if you are starting a business or even if you have a job, when I learned something very important by getting this office, you need to negotiate. And it makes me feel icky. It makes me feel gross. I don't like it. If someone says something's a certain amount of money, I say, okay. And when I was looking for offices, I was just being nice and would text people, hey, sorry, it's too expensive, or I'm going to go with a different one. And I had literally, I looked at 3 offices. Each person, every time I said that, lowered the price. So this office that I'm in right now, for $425, they wanted $564, and so look at your boy. saving money. Negotiate. If you're going for a job and they offer you $10 an hour, say, how about 11? And not like because I deserve it or not. Well, you do deserve it, but not because like you feel like it, but because I have this experience, or because you obviously need the help. Like, I don't know. I'm not good at business. I don't like it. But and it makes me nervous. But let me just put it this way: the other two offices that I did not take, texting me all the time before I made my decision, and when I made my decision and texted them, no more response. So they don't. No one. I'm not gonna say no one. Salespeople and business people, I'm not saying they are actively against you, but they really don't care about you. It's like I I mean, am I wrong? I'm not saying they're bad people, and I'm sure there are salespeople out there who do care about you. But for example, I bought my same car. I bought my cars from the same dude 3 or 4 times. Very nice guy. I literally would wait for him sometimes if he was with another customer because I had dealt with him a few times, called me on my birthday, all that. He was making a living from selling me a car. And one time, this is funny, I tried to negotiate. I thought I was a real big adult man. And my mom, it's funny. I was saying how of an adult I was. My mommy told me that if I lease a car, I should get gap insurance, which apparently, if like you total a car and there's some sort of like if your car's worth X and the insurance is only going to give you less, like Y, the gap insurance covers that if it's totaled. And I was in the middle of my negotiation, and I said, I want gap insurance on this car. And he said, you strike a good deal. You really stuck it to me. That he didn't say this, but he was like, oh, okay. And then I went to the finance person to sign all the stuff, and I said, I just want to make sure that he gave me gap insurance because I negotiated that with my manliness. And she goes, oh, we give gap insurance to all leases. And so, yeah, negotiate. Don't feel bad, especially now in these times, whether it's an apartment, an office, a job. They need you just as much as you need them or more. So know your worth. That's my bonus one. So it's really the 11 things, but I'm going to say 10 because it sounds better. So here is number 1. And if I know I'm really trying to look in the camera. When I look a little bit down, I am looking at my notes because I am a real man and I am prepared. So number 1 is have more fun. Honestly, I don't know if I'm an introvert because I like it or because I'm just nervous and scared and I've become used to it. But you guys heard Joey always getting on me about it. And if you're new to this podcast and you didn't hear, that's fine. I said it at the beginning. My favorite thing to do is nothing. And my favorite person to do it with is myself. Sometimes people annoy me, which is something I have to get over. But they like to do things the wrong way. You know who likes to do things the best way? Me. I know exactly what I want to do all the time. And when someone else wants, like, if you want to hike, no, thank you. You want to wait in line for brunch? I don't. I don't want to wait. I never see the problem with waiting in line is you have to stand, and then even if you do get to sit down, other people are close to me, and I don't like either of those things. So, I unfortunately wouldn't hang out. I've known this about myself going back to knowing yourself. Even back in like middle school and high school, I would think all my friends, all these not my friends, all these people are talking about going out on the weekends and having play dates. I guess you don't really have a play date in high school, but I would be home alone and doing my favorite thing with myself, and I realized that I was like, why is no one calling me to hang out? And I realized that I didn't call anyone either. Like I never would reach out and hang and be like, hey, you want to hang out? And they probably would have said yes. Um, but it even I know I was making a joke, but also telling the truth about how people annoy me. That's very true. But on the same coin, different side. That's not what it. That's not anything. But I also am painfully shy, and I've gotten a lot less shy over the years. If you saw me look down, I was making sure I was recording, because I forgot. Um, but I've gotten a lot less shy over the years. The church and comedy has I've this for me is the most confident I've ever been, and for most people, they would go and get medical help for my shine. I'm a very shy person, and um, part of having more fun is, and this is if you're under 21, though this is just for me, okay? I should have drank more. And I not to have a problem, and I know that's a little bit controversial, but I never I mean, I'm not going to I didn't drink alone, but whenever I would drink, I would be happy, high five. I would love to high five people. I would say hi to people. I still wouldn't talk to a girl, but I would my inhibitions would go down. And again, don't if you have a problem, that's not a good thing. I'm just not much of a drinker, but I probably should have done a little bit. Just I guess being more social is probably a better way to put it. But I'm just trying to be upfront. I probably should have drank a little bit more in my 20s, in my early 20s, in college. Like been a kid and had fun, and instead of going to see movies alone, which I still enjoy, but whenever I would drink, I was a happy drunk. I talk to people, high five, laugh, giggle. Lee, you're so funny. Don't I know it? And then the next day I'd be like, okay, we'll do that in 3 months, and then we'll just be by ourselves the whole time. So I should have had more fun. I should realize that everyone doubts themselves. Everyone's in their own head, and they just pushed past it. And I didn't. I would sit there doubting myself. No one's going to like you. Why you don't even try? And I would sit in it, and I shouldn't have. I should really have been more outgoing, and I am who I am. I'm not gonna be even I'm very jealous of people who like have 8, 10 friends out every night with them. I so part of me wishes I could be that. I'm much more of like a 1 to 2 friend person, and that's fine. But I have to be better about going out still. But 18-year-old me, have more fun, okay? And after you're done having fun, this is number 2. You have to create better habits for yourself, Lee. And there's in 3 specific areas. I have 1. Work habits need to be a lot better. Need to be a lot more strict, and a lot more what's the word? Not planned, but like you have to have like an objective, because when I was in school, if I didn't like a subject, I would do enough to get a B so my mom wouldn't get mad at me, but that's about it. And I got lucky. Before weed, my memory was pretty good. Not a real big studier until the night before. Not a huge note taker in class. And for anyone who's in high school now or earlier, if you're watching even college, I know it seems like you have a lot of work now, and I know that you have homework, and it seems like a lot, but life is it gets a lot harder I'll put it that way. I have written down life is easy uh, up until you turn 18 or 21, whatever number you want to put. And when you're an adult and you have a job, there's no breaks in the day. In college, sometimes you'd have a couple hours between a class that you could do nothing. Doesn't happen. And then you know how like you have December break, April break, summer break. There's no more breaks. I have not had a job with vacation time ever. When I was working in TV, I had hiatuses, but I would either go get a job. One time I took a month off, but it was unpaid. And I had a lot of free time when I was with Joey, but up until the last year or two, we never took a week off. And even when we did, we always had episodes to put out. So it's a grind. Life is a grind, and it's not good to go at it with like the procrastinating, do the minimum idea that I had growing up. It's just I would do enough to get not like a C or a D when I did get a couple of those, but like you shouldn't. A B is not what I should have aimed for, and it takes work, and work sucks. I don't enjoy it. I wish like I said, my favorite thing to do, nothing. It all comes back to that. Unfortunately, if you do nothing, you're 33 living with your parents. And there's no shame in that. It's a pandemic. A lot of people are doing it right now to save money. I actually really am enjoying living with my parents, but is not where I saw my life happening. And if I had created better work habits, might not be happening right now. Number 2, very obvious, eating habits. I needed to have a lot better eating habits. You don't need to eat fast food every day. Like I know you hate cleaning. There's nothing worse than if they had disposable pans, I would use like if I ever get to be a millionaire, I'm gonna buy a pan and throw it out. I hate washing pans. I hate it. When I have my own place, I have dishes for when either it's like a really nice meal or if people are coming over, but most of the meals, paper plates, because you get to throw them away. And that is a lot of the reason why I ate fast food. I mean, I was working a lot, especially when I got to LA. I was working the night shift and there's not much open, and I didn't want to get home at 5:30 in the morning and start cooking or dinner. But you know, maybe you don't need to get 2 sandwiches and a large fry, 3 sandwiches and a large fry, 3 sandwiches, a large fry, and candy bars. And that's not like a cheat. Every day was a cheat day. What day is it? Monday? No, it's cheat day. Tuesday? No, it's cheat day. That was just how I ate. And it turns out that it's not only girls who don't like you when you're fat. No one. I forget. I feel like it's a clip from Your Mom's House. Like nobody likes you when you're fat. It's just the truth. I mean, they'll be your friend, but it's awkward. It's awkward when if you were gonna go out, they make jokes about it. It's gonna make you feel worse. It made me feel worse. So you don't have to be ripped, Lee, but ripped Lee's, believe it or not, Lee's ripped. But you should be a normal amount of chubby. You know how like if you're watching, you're like, I could lose 20 pounds. That's my goal now. And I'm probably about 80 pounds away from that. 80 to 100, I would guess. So that could be fine. You know, I'm not saying you have to be in the best shape, but you shouldn't. I'll never forget this. The last time I lost weight, a comedian named Johnny Rock said to me, Lee, you're finally looking in shape instead of A shape. And hurt my feelings a little bit, but it's true. So, you know, as good as the food tastes, it's not worth it. And I know this is probably eating disorder, um, which I don't take lightly. I had friends who were bulimic, and it's a very sad thing. I was never going to be bulimic because I could never stick my finger down my throat. However, I did have the thought of, can I just chew it and spit it out? Because I don't care about swallowing it. I just like the taste. But I swallowed everything. That is going to be clipped. Uh, I did. I swallowed everything. So, as good as the food tastes, it's not worth it, Lee. Have a salad. You can put cheese in. I put feta cheese, no fat, but I put feta cheese and croutons in every salad I eat. So, just a little bit of a eat better, be better. And number 3, similar to number 2, working out. I know it sucks. It does suck. Anyone who says you enjoy working out, I think you need to get your head checked because gross. You sweat. It's hard, and it stinks. Like smell wise, the locker room smells, and you're not in bed. There's nothing I enjoy about working out. However, you have to move a little bit. There were days when I was at my fattest where I wasn't putting, it would be funny if I was putting like McDonald's, 3,000 calories for lunch, Taco Bell, 4,000 calories for dinner. I was not putting stuff into MyFitnessPal, but they have something in it where it counts your steps. I would have multiple days where it would be under 1,000 steps. And so I know working out stinks, but move a little bit. Just a little bit. You don't even have to hit 10,000 steps. Hit 5,000. Just, I literally lived within walking distance, like 2 blocks of a grocery store, a Popeyes, a Wiener Schnitzel that had ice cream in it, and a Jack in the Box that I went to so much. And did I ever walk there? Popeyes, no. Wiener Schnitzel and Jack in the Box, no. I think the grocery store once in like 6 years. So, take a little stroll. You live in Los Angeles or wherever. Even now that I'm in Boston, it's a little chilly. Put on a sweatshirt. It's a beautiful day outside. If it's snowing, take a shorter walk. Or, do laps inside your house. Who knows? Move a little bit. And that is the end of my creating good habits. Bang. Off to number 3. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. Go to therapy. My mom wanted me to go to therapy. And I said, no, thank you. And I didn't feel like I needed it. I don't like being, part of my shyness is I didn't feel comfortable saying all that stuff. I just didn't. And I haven't been to therapy in a couple of years, and I think I'm going to go back. Not every week. I honestly don't feel like I need it on a weekly basis, but maybe once or twice a month, I think it would be good because for me, it gets the thoughts out of my head, and then as soon as I say them, sometimes they're bad. I've had bad things happen in my life. I am down sometimes, but sometimes, or a lot of times, when I actually say what's bothering me, as soon as I would say it, I'd tell my therapist, oh, that actually isn't as bad as it was in my head. I was making a bigger deal out of it than it was, or it is. So please go to therapy. They can do it. You can do it on Zoom now. When I was doing it, my copayment was like $25. It's not bad, but now I have a freaking deductible. Massachusetts sucks with health insurance. Everyone's like, oh, they have the best hospitals. Yeah, but I pay like $6 something a month, and I have a $1,500 deductible. So it kind of sucks. But I'm gonna find out. I honestly still do believe in therapy, and if you can't afford it, which many people can't, I really can't right now. find somebody to talk to, or even if you can't or don't have somebody that you would like to confide in, maybe just say out loud what's bothering you. Be your own therapist, because I think I haven't tried it, but now that I said it here, I'm gonna try it, because legitimately, when I was doing therapy, I would say things, and then as soon as I said them, say, "Oh, that wasn't as big of a deal as I was making it." So be your own therapist and take that $25, $50, whatever you're going to spend on it, and go invest in Bitcoin. I don't know. Go to listen to Shahan. I have an episode on here, Bitcoin for Dummies. Shahan Kashafian is a Bitcoin genius, and he knows a lot more than I do. So just invest your money wisely. I'll put it that way. Number 4, trust your gut. Trust your gut. I like to believe the best in people, and it is not a terrible quality to have, but whether it's girls, friends, workers, salespeople, I don't want to think the government, I don't want to think that they aren't being truthful or honest or good people. And I'm not always all of those things either. But one of the things that Joey said that really stuck with me, and I think it's his mom said it, was if something sucks at the beginning, it's going to suck the whole time. And it's true. I gave too many people leeway in relationships. I gave myself too much leeway. I'd be say, "Oh, I know this doesn't seem like a good idea, but maybe no." Trust your gut. Some people are bad people, and they don't have your best interest at heart. So whether it's a job that you don't think you should take, someone you don't think you should date, a friend, something you're thinking about doing yourself, if you have an issue with it, or even on the positive side, if you really think that it would be good for you to do something, but someone in your life tells you you're an idiot, or you doubt yourself, but you know that it's a good idea, go for it, man. Go for it. And that's actually number 5. I'm stealing this from Nike, so sponsor me. As Nike says, just do it. There's someone, I don't want to put them on blast, but there's someone in LA that I knew who was not the smartest person in the world. Neither am I, but they just weren't. But something that they did, which I was very jealous of, is every time they had an idea, they would just go with it. They would try it, and some of them worked very well, made a very good living, and some of them didn't, and then they would just stop. I overthink everything. Everything. A lot of times I think a week ago I literally did 40 takes of the intro. I'm not joking. Because, and some of them were like, I would say, huh, I would say hi, and then I didn't like the way I said hi, so it'd start. So that's not, some of them were shorter than others, but I overthink literally everything. And something that I 100% believe in this. And things can go wrong in life, but for the most part, if you have good intentions and you try, even if it doesn't work out 100%, and even if it's a failure, that doesn't mean your life is going to be a failure. And it doesn't mean that everyone's going to hate you. When I went to a wedding, my high school best friend in Vermont, it was on a Sunday for some reason. I love you, Aaron. I don't know why your wedding was on a Sunday. But I had to be back Monday for the podcast. So I had an early morning flight from Vermont. And I got at the wedding, I got a notice that my flight was canceled until Monday night, and that I needed to be back. So I called the airline. I found that they had a flight back to LA I could go to Albany and then that would take me to New York and back to LA. And I'm telling you this because that can be a stressful thing for a lot of people. And every time that I'm like pushed into doing something, like when I was just pushed into, okay, your flight's canceled, you need to get back, you need to do something, I strangely act better. I react in a more positive way. When I have options or it's not like urgent, I overanalyze and overthink and go over different scenarios constantly. And I'm doing it literally right now. I have been doing podcast consulting, and I want to do webinars and group consultations, and there's a lot of platforms to do it on, and I have spent months just procrastinating, looking at everything differently. One's $40 a month and one's $35 a month, and as I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing I just need to pick one and just do it. And overanalyzing things don't help. They just don't. And my tushy hurts. Hold on. Ugh. Okay. Readjusting. So just go for it. If it doesn't work out, that's fine. Like the world is not going to come to an end. Just try it out, and if things go great, great. If you need to readjust. But don't. That's why I called my last podcast "Life in Neutral." I just wouldn't make a decision. It's not good. It's one of my least positive qualities, and I'm working on it. So 18-year-old Lee, just go for it. Okay. Number 6, not everyone is going to like you, and that's okay. That's something that I'm really honestly just figuring out now, and I don't like it. I still don't like it. I don't like when people don't like me. That's just the truth. I like it when people like what I do and who I am. And there's a Cat Williams special. I think it's the Pimp Chronicles #1. I remember, I don't even have that name written down, I promise. I just have Cat Williams written down to remind me to say it, but I think that special name is correct. It's one of the best specials out there. And he has a joke to the effect of, I don't remember the full joke, but he's talking about haters, and the line that I remember is he goes, yeah, if you have nobody to hate, feel free to hate on me. And it stuck with me recently because I'm in the content game right now, okay? For this, it's a podcast. I like it when more people listen and watch. It makes what's the word? I don't know. It's not gratifying, but it shows that I'm on the right path. It doesn't matter what word I'm looking for. But the people who don't like me will leave angry comments or put a down thumb, all that sort of stuff. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty in the video. If you're in the content game, or really anything, but specifically this, if you're an artist, whatever, a view is a view. So, like, for example, Joe Rogan has a podcast, if you didn't know, and he is at a point where people watch and listen to his podcast to look for something to get angry about. They like I would imagine that at every news outlet that there's probably someone's job is to listen to Joe Rogan and see if there's anything that they could get mad about. And if it's not someone's job, in reality, there are some people who are doing it for free on the internet. But he's been in the news a lot this week because of comments about vaccinations, and whether you agree with him or not doesn't really matter. But he's gotten a lot of quote unquote negative press about it. and I'm not saying he's thrilled. I don't know how he feels about it. If it were me, I would be distraught. I'll put it that way. If I had people saying, "Oh, you're so stupid," or "How dare you say that," and I would be writing apologies. I would put a little V on my chest and bow my head in shame. And um, someone's making noise out there. God, how dare they eat lunch? Um, I Even he did apologize for how he said it, or he clarified his comments. I don't know if apologize is the right word, but you know, a view's a view. If people are talking about you, that can only help. So if people leave negative comments or talk about you, and it's not just content wise. If people are bad talking to you at the office or in school, you're doing something to get their attention, I guess. I mean, if everyone likes you, you're probably not being true to yourself, because and I do this all the time. I like with girls, I'll put it this way. A girl's like, "Hey, um, do you want to go watch a scary movie with me?" And I hate scary movies, but when I first start dating someone, I'll say yes because I want them to go out with me. And it's not a good thing to do. You have to be yourself, and you're not always going to agree with everybody, and not everyone's going to agree with you, and that can turn into them not liking you, and that has to be fine. Okay? And yeah, you have to. I needed to get more comfortable with the fact that everyone is not going to like me. Number 7 is give people a break. I talked about this earlier. People annoy me, and some people have been mean to me. And what I'm very quick to cut people off for that. And so for example, when you're driving and someone cuts you off or doesn't go fast enough or whatever, and you're like, that idiot, or parks wrong. How dare they? I like, they should give parking tickets out more than speeding tickets because that person's being a jerk. I've done all of those things, and when I do them, sometimes people will beep at me, if I do the wrong thing driving, and I'll be like, hey, relax. But I am also the person who is like, hey, get out of the way, go fast. I need to give the people in my life a break the same way I give myself a break. Everyone goes through something. Like when I was living in LA, I really came to understand how people can have mental breakdowns. I how sometimes you'll see someone yelling at someone in the store or all that. I'm not justifying it. It's not a good thing for them to do, but everyone's going through something and everyone has a bad day, and I need to be more forgiving to people. And for example, I have a friend who didn't do anything for my birthday. And then a couple months later, all the same group of friends went and planned something for their birthday. And I went, and I left early because I was mad and I was grumpy to myself, saying, "Oh, why are they doing stuff for his birthday and they didn't do anything for my birthday?" And I also didn't ask or invite anybody to something for my birthday. I just wanted it to happen. And I'm still friends with that person, but in the moment, I was pretty upset about it. I was hurt, and I have to be better about speaking up and saying, hey, let's go to dinner for my birthday. And I can't just assume everyone's going to be thinking all the time about me. I would love it if they did, but they don't. Everyone's self-involved, and I did give him a break. I forgave him in my head, but give people a break. Number 8, be a better friend. That is something I am not great at. Um, how I said I don't reach out to people. I also have been known to not respond to texts all the time. I could blame it on anxiety, which sometimes can be true. Sometimes I was busy and forgot and then figured I shouldn't text. But I need to do a better job about calling people, texting. One of the best things I did this year, or I guess at the end of last year, is I think it was Christmas. And I texted like everybody, Happy Christmas or Merry Christmas. Or maybe it was New Year's. It was one or the other, I forget. And maybe it could have been both. And like the response I got was so overwhelmingly positive. Like people were like thrilled and just super happy about it. And I'm someone to wait for people to reach out to me. And sometimes it happens, but a lot less. It would happen a lot. I would have a much happier life if I did some of the reaching out. And something that I unfortunately have dealt with over the last 10 years or 12 years, whatever it is unfortunately people die. It's a bummer to talk about. I'm sorry that I have to do it, but I've had a few friends pass away, and they were all too young. Like it wasn't like I was friends with a 90-year-old, and they went in their sleep surrounded by all their friends and family. So one of my we weren't best friends in middle school and high school, but I had a friend named Carl who went to the same grade. He was like I think 3 months younger than me. Died 2 weeks ago. I found out on Facebook, and I mean, like I said, we weren't best friends, but I wish that we had kept in touch. I wish I had talked to him once since graduating high school. He had a great laugh, and I'm sad that I won't get to talk to him anymore. So I need to be better about just for like not when you need something, just saying hi, hanging out with people. I know it's going to take an hour to get to their party, but go. It's something that I'm not great at, and I need to get better at, and I wish I had done more when I was 18. Number 9, and we're only going to 10, so thank you guys very much for watching and listening. Number 9 is sex and money are not the most important things. Sex, let's start with that one. One night stands suck. I would love to be the person who has a different girl every night. Even if I was in super good shape, I don't think that's who I would be. Sometimes I want to be. Sex feels great, but it's not a reason to be in a relationship. And it shouldn't be like I'm getting back out into the dating world now, and my dick made a lot of decisions for me with the girls I would date or even go out with, and your dick makes bad decisions. It just does. My dick has, and I need to be more interested in the person. And I'm not saying it has to be the 50s where we wait 3 months to have sex, but like I went out on a date and we just had dinner and we didn't even kiss. We hugged. And in this day and age now, a lot of people don't do that sort of dating anymore, but I kind of enjoyed it. I don't think that person is going to be someone that I date forever, or I don't even know if I'll see her ever again. But I need, like, going back to like 80s, 90s dating where you actually go to dinner with people or go get I don't drink coffee, a hot chocolate. Do more of that. Like be more interested in the person, and then I honestly think the sex will be better. But don't just care about sex. And similar to sex, money. I've taken jobs just for money. I've cared way too much about money. And I know I was joking, and it's not even a joke, it's the truth, about doing nothing is my favorite, and it's something that I'm struggling with right now. Is like right now I'm really honestly trying to build up a business from nothing, and I'm putting in a lot of hours, and that's all great. But I also need to. I need to. I really do think in America we have the wrong idea about work a little bit. I think from what I've seen from European and Australian people who take very long vacations, I'm not saying I can't take a month off right now, but I genuinely believe that I need to fit. I don't like the term work-life balance because I work a lot right now, but I can't. This is not a sustainable. You know how like people talk about being having a sustainable diet. My life is not sustainable right now for much longer. I could put in a year or two like this, but I want to get married. I want to travel. I want to enjoy life because, as I said 2 numbers ago, people die, and I very easily. I hope I don't die, but I could die right now. That'd be good. That'd be a crazy podcast, right? Like, Lee Syatt dies mid podcast, and then my mom, if you're watching this, please upload this if I die. I'll get tons of hits. But I've taken jobs just for money. I've left jobs because I could get more money, and I regret it. This is my first job ever. I've been procrastinating writing this note for years because I feel bad about it. My first job ever. The people were super amazing to me, just amazing to me. The owner went to my college, hugged me on stage during my graduation ceremony, and the pay was probably what I deserved. But after a year and a half there, something, I applied to a few jobs to advance in my career, and my college at the time had an email list where you could submit that you got a new job. And I was just so excited about my new job. I put it in, and I didn't tell the owner of the company. I didn't think about it. I didn't. I wasn't trying to hurt his feelings, but I just put it in that little thing, and he emailed me one day and said, "Oh, I'm sorry to see you." Like, he wasn't angry, but like our relationship was never really the same. And I saw him, and he was always very nice to me, but I felt really bad that I didn't go to him first. I'm not saying I shouldn't have taken that job, which ended up sucking. But the second one, not the first one. But I should have. I was blinded by I was like $200 a week better. I was blinded by the money and by ambition, and didn't think about how it was going to affect him, and that I should have been more respectful in my actions. So I have to write that letter this week. It's only been like 8 years. But similar to how I feel like we should be, take more vacations and have a better life. You need money. I'm not a minimalist. I like nice things. I want a nice house, but taking things just for the money or doing things just for the money is not going to end well. That's how dictators are made, and shitty CEOs. So I don't want to be either of those things. And I want to do things because I want to and because I believe in them. And hopefully money comes. If I'm never a millionaire, that has to be fine. Kyle Kinane has a joke about, I think it's somewhere in your 30s. He's like, when you realize all your, like, I think he goes like, how old were you when you realized your dreams were going to come true? I'm not saying my dreams aren't going to come true, but I always wanted to be rich. That was like my goal. And I might not be, but my new goal, every time I see 11/11, and this is embarrassing to be a 33-year-old man admitting this, But every time I see 1111, I will say I wish to be happy. And I've said that for years, but I honestly, that's my goal right now, is to be happy, and money plays a role in that, but it can't be 100% of the role. And I sort of, number 10, I sort of just previewed it, but as think before you act, sleep on it. So that story I just told, I messed up by putting it in that number, but that story I told about the boss that I hurt his feelings, I think I should have thought before I did that. I should have realized how good he was to me. And not saying I couldn't take the job. Everyone's in LA or not even LA. Everyone in life is trying to get better and to do more. But you have to realize how your actions are going to affect you and are going to affect other people. And whether you're thinking with your dick or your wallet or whatever, it's always good to sleep on it. Making rash decisions. And I know I just said earlier to just go for things. And I still do believe in that. But that doesn't mean that you have to do it and sleep on it. Really try to think about what you're doing and look at it from other angles, from other people's perspectives. And you're not always going to make everybody happy. I'm not saying that my boss would have been thrilled that I was leaving, but I should have realized how good he was to me, how much he cared about me, and sorry, I have to take a drink. And I know I have Diet Coke. Sorry, God, my throat. This podcast is brought to you by beverages. But yeah, just, think about it. Sleep on it. Take a day. Really realize if you're doing the right thing. And that is it. That is my advice to young me, young Lee. Young Sheldon, forget young Sheldon. Young Lee. Little Lee. I don't like that. But thank you guys very much for watching and listening. If you're watching it on YouTube, don't forget. If you're listening, don't forget I have a YouTube. And if you're watching, don't forget I have an audio version of this. So thank you all very much for the support. Got some big things planned. I got some new sponsors on the way, which is very cool. I'm doing more videos. I have the Waistline podcast. Things are going great. So thank you. I owe it all, honestly, to you. Because if not, I would be doing a gay OnlyFans. And it still could happen. So, just keep an eye on OnlyFans and see if you see a hairy little George Costanza looking dude. I'm getting close to George Costanza, which is not usually someone's goal weight. But my goal body right now is George Costanza. Right now I look like George Costanza if he was, given up. If he had given up for a year, or maybe 2 or 3 years. But thank you. I'll just say it like that. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much for giving me your time, because that really honestly is what you're doing every time you watch and listen. And this is over an hour. I should have done 5. I was gonna try to keep it to 30, but here we are. I also want to thank Manscaped. Don't forget, go to manscaped.com and use code Syatt, and you get 20% off with free shipping. And you use code Syatt, SYATT, at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Don't forget, Perfect Package 3.0. Thank you very much for listening and watching and being my friend. I love you, and thank you very much for listening to What Was I Thinking? And I will be back next week and tomorrow. If you're listening, the Waistline podcast will be brand new. Check it out. All right, guys. Have a great week. I'll see you next time on the What Was I Thinking podcast. Bye-bye.